Hello there. Today's video is about a 3-time All-Star and a 2-time Gold Glover. He's 15th in all of Major League Baseball in home runs and 30th in wins above replacement among all active players. He has been one of the most consistent sluggers throughout his time in Major League Baseball, and he holds single-season records for home runs and RBIs for a proud but struggling franchise. But he is the most consistently disrespected player in the entire league, and it's not particularly close. And yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, folks around the world, I'm talking about Matt Olson. And when he gets introduced as an NL All-Star in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, next week, be sure to show him the respect he's earned. After all, it's not easy being the guy after the guy.
Matt Olson made his Major League debut in 2016 with the then Oakland A's as part of a young A's core that included Matt Chapman, Marcus Semien, Sean Manaea, and a few others. Olson's first full season in 2017 wasn't eye-popping, but 24 home runs with a 1,003 OPS and 164 WRC plus is pretty damn good. And while the strikeout rate was on the high side, Olson was emerging as one of the most prolific sluggers in the league. And with the exception of the 2020 COVID-shortened season, Olson's career low in home runs is 24, his 2017 rookie season. But since the start of the 2020 season, only Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber, and Pete Alonso have hit more home runs than Olson. No other first baseman in the league has hit more home runs than Olson since his debut in 2017, and only Pete Alonso has hit more homers as a first baseman in the post-pandemic era. Add in Gold Gloves in 2018 and 19, and you have a pretty good recipe for a modern-day first baseman. There's just one problem with Matt Olson, and it has nothing to do with the player or the person that he is. Hell, it has nothing to do with the team that he plays for now. It's all down to the player who came before him and the way that player left. To this day, a large chunk of Braves fans are still mad that Braves GM and president of baseball operations Alex Anthopoulos stood his ground in negotiations with Freeman and wouldn't budge on Freddie's demands for an extra year on his contract. The proposed 5-year, $135 million contract from the Braves would have made Freddie Freeman the highest paid player in franchise history by annual value, more so than first ballot Hall of Famer and arguably the greatest third baseman in Major League history in Chipper Jones. But Freddie was adamant about one extra year on a contract, a year that could have been negotiated had Freeman understood the Braves' risk aversion as a franchise. He should have known better than most the way the Braves operate, being the face of the team following Chipper's retirement in 2012. But alas, Freeman and the Braves had reached the point of no return. It was no secret that John Fisher and the A's were looking to cut payroll, and given Matt Olson's impending free agency following the 2023 season, it was clear the A's slugger would be available for the right price. Surely enough, a package of prospects was more than enough for the Braves to land their first baseman of the future. And the Braves made sure that Olson would be their guy for the long haul by signing him to an 8-year, $168 million extension. Given his production with the A's from the start of the 2017 season through 2021, Olson very well could have landed a bigger deal with someone else on the free agent market. But despite playing a grand total of 0 games prior to committing his long-term future to the Braves, Olson made it clear he wanted to be in Atlanta. And you can't say the same for Freeman. Olson's first game in a Braves uniform was, coincidentally, the first game at Truist Park following the Braves World Series win in 2021. And with the Braves now facing the new reality of a player other than Freddie Freeman occupying first base, they only went out and overcame a 10.5 game deficit on June 1st to win 101 games and the NL East. Not once during Freeman's tenure did the Braves win more than 100 games, And yet the first year following his departure was one of the most successful by win total in franchise history. And while the team went silent in the postseason, as many Braves teams have done, Olson did the best job he could to replace a first ballot Hall of Famer and someone whose number will surely hang in the rafters at Truist Park next to the likes of the Joneses, Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz. It's at this point in the video where you, as a baseball fan, might start to say, well, the Braves messed up by not re-signing Freddie Freeman. He should still be a Brave, and so why didn't they just pay him? Well, let me lay out the facts for you. Freddie Freeman, via his representation, had very publicly stated his desire for an extra year on the proposed 5-year contract with the Braves. And while the Braves have the cash, their hesitation to commit years and millions to a player nearing the end of his prime was the final nail in the coffin. But does that make sense? Well, no. But you see, Freddie's former agent Casey Close reportedly gave Alex Anthopoulos an ultimatum: agreed to Freeman's demands within an hour, or they would walk away from negotiations. And you know what happened next. Anthopoulos pivoted to Matt Olson, offering a prospect package to the A's in exchange for their power-hitting, Gold Glove, then 28-year-old first baseman. Freeman then signed with the Dodgers on a 6-year deal worth $162 million in a move many across baseball, especially in Braves country, thought impossible. There was no way someone else was going to play first for the Braves while Freddie Freeman is still an active player, right? Well, the unthinkable happened, and Freddie's time in Atlanta came to an abrupt but thoroughly celebrated end. He helped the Braves win their first championship since 1995 and cemented his legacy as one of the greatest first basemen, if not the greatest, in franchise history. He went out on top as a Brave, hitting a home run in the decisive Game 6 of the 2021 World Series in his final plate appearance. Doesn't get much more storybook than that. And of course, years later, he has cemented his legacy as one of baseball's greatest first basemen. Braves country, I need you to listen to this next part very carefully. Freddie is gone. He has been gone for more than 3 years now. Move on and get behind the guy currently playing first base for the Braves. Freddie had every opportunity to stay, yet he chose to leave. Riddle me this. If Freddie and his family got the desired result, then why did Freddie fire his agent? Why, as a professional athlete, would you fire the person you hired to represent you and help you make money if you indeed got the result you wanted? It is baffling to me that in the year of our Lord 2025, we still talk about Freddie not being a Brave. Please move on. How about this? Let's celebrate the guy currently playing first base because he's pretty damn good. Look around Major League Baseball right now. Of the other 29 teams, how many of them can confidently, without a shadow of a doubt, say they would rather have their current guy than Matt Olson? If you answered the Dodgers, well, duh. But for everyone else, yeah, I didn't think so. The Mets? Okay, sure. But as the Braves' biggest rival, you might want the guy you currently have because he's a better home run hitter and slightly more productive offensively than Olson, despite being a worse defender by almost every defensive metric. Okay, so who's next? Maybe the Astros and Christian Walker? Sure. But since Olson's first full season in 2017, Olson has been more productive by batting average, OPS, WRC+, wins above replacement, and hard hit percentage. Paul Goldschmidt? Okay. Goldschmidt might have an NL MVP under his name, but Olson trails only slightly in wins above replacement and has an almost identical WRC+. Goldschmidt's peak season, his 2022 NL MVP campaign, saw him produce 6.8 wins above replacement, while Olson's 2023 fourth-placed NL MVP finish saw him produce 6.6 WAR. But as of right now, Olson is 30, and Goldschmidt is 37. Goldschmidt's MVP season came during his age 34 season, and again, Olsen is currently in his age 31 season. Now, I'm not sure about you, and I might be biased, but I would take Olsen right now. Pick out any first baseman in baseball other than Freddie Freeman, and I guarantee you that Matt Olson is probably a better choice. Braves fans, we have got to be better about this. Olsen didn't think twice about committing his future to the Braves, but apparently, for the face of the franchise, it was a really tough decision. One guy wanted to be here. The other guy didn't. It's as simple as that. But this video isn't about Freddie himself. It's about the kid from Lilburn who grew up watching Chipper and Andrew and Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz and Javi Lopez and every other star player who played for the team of the 90s. I bet you Olsen probably has a Freddie Freeman jersey somewhere in his closet. But because of the circumstances surrounding his arrival, a kid who grew up rooting for the Braves and now gets to play first base for his hometown team won't get the respect he so richly deserves. He is by far the most disrespected player in the league, and it's mostly by fans of his own team. Freeman, in fairness, owns one of the most iconic moments in baseball history, hitting a walk-off grand slam at Dodger Stadium in Game 1 of the World Series, and it didn't come in a Braves uniform. Olsen doesn't have a moment like that to his name yet, but if a time ever does come, I do hope Braves country and all of baseball will realize you can't replace Freddie Freeman, but you can celebrate Matt Olson, who I hope gets to hold up the Commissioner's Trophy in his hometown. And when Freeman gets the loudest ovation of any player at Truist Park during the All-Star Game introductions, I hope Braves country can show the same love to the player currently playing for their team. That's all for now. So long as he's the Braves first baseman, I will continue to stand by Matt Olson. And if you call yourself a Braves fan, you should too. But if you enjoyed today's video, a like is greatly appreciated, and make sure you subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.